Well, that's just a very overused term. That's just a set of iconic images, isn't it? Really.
It is. It's and that final showdown. It's just it's up there with the greats.
Yeah, and Eastwood may have been as good or better in other films, but he'll always be remembered for that, won't he?
And again, funny enough, I mentioned Bronson as being first choice for the studios wanted Bronson in Rocky. They also wanted Bronson in this, him or James Coburn, but neither of them wanted to do some low-budget film being filmed in the Tenerife. So they ended up having to do this guy who was a bit of a TV star but hadn't really done much in film. It was called Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, he'd been making fairly low-budget TV stuff, hadn't he?
Well, yeah, he played Rowdy Yates in the American series called Rawhide.
Rawhide, yeah.
Which ran for 3 or 4 years, but it was a bit like The Virginian, or he certainly wasn't a star though. He was known in the States for Rawhide, but there's a big difference. Well, certainly then there was a big difference between a TV star and a film star.
And after that point, I suppose that was his global profile.
That was his breakthrough, yeah. And then he went on to have one of the most illustrious careers that you could have.
Yeah, and then...
And I hear he's a lovely man, a very, very nice man. Incredible.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And also a successful politician.
Yeah. Well, who's going to argue with Clint Eastwood?
After you've seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly and Dirty Harry, you're not likely to, are you?
No, you're just going to roll over and let him tickle your tummy.
There's quite a theme of frontiersmen going on here. People who buck the system and don't.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a theme in some of your stuff, yeah.
That's, I suppose we all like the underdog, don't we? We all like we all want the little man to come out on top.
Well, and that's where cowboys and Western films, I think, come from. Because it's always very often the same story in that sense, yeah.
It is. It's as one esteemed Hollywood writer said to me once. I won't name drop, but that it's a black hat, white hat, and that's what westerns are about. The white hat, the black hat needs to be sorted out by the white hat.
Yeah, and whether that's Alan Ladd, John Wayne, or Clint Eastwood, it's nearly always the same. Yeah.
Yeah, they 99 times out of 100 they come out. But that's what was good against the spaghetti films, because I don't recall which one, but he does get a good battering in one and has to go and live in a cave whilst he picks bullets out of his own body and gets better and things. Oh, I forgot Rambo.
Well, there you go. You'll have to redo this at some point with Rambo.
I will.
And that's a complete change to your number 7 choice.
Yeah, and that's from an album. I don't know the name of the album, but an album by the Communards. And there's a track on there, "Don't Leave Me This Way," which is very eponymous with when I was at drama school. I bought my first Walkman, and I used to get on the bus at Hammersmith to go to Gloucester Road. And I just remember it was a wonderful time at drama school. I met some brilliant friends who stayed friends throughout my life, and it was just an awakening experience. And I just couldn't be happier sitting on the bus, and this song just reminds me of sitting on that bus going to drama school, just really looking forward to another brilliant day in my life.
Well, let's have a listen to it, and you can think yourself backwards to sitting on the top of that bus with your Walkman on.
And I was indeed on top, yeah.